Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Quest Show. Look at me, 2 Thursdays in a row. How do you like that? I told you I'm getting ready for the new year. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make an effort to be here. I am still getting ready. All right, I am here. But yes, I am Lana Quest, and welcome to the Quest Show. How is everyone doing out there? I always write a bunch of notes. I swear, look at just write stuff. And then when I come back, I can't read what I've written. I don't know. Go figure. But before we get started, I do want to say thank you all for coming back. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you for coming. I really don't have a process here. Sometimes I ramble. Sometimes I'm out of order. Anything goes here. So welcome to the chaos. Also, thank you to the new subscribers. I really appreciate that. I do know that a lot of my subscribers have come by way of a lot of attention because I don't really promote the show, right? I'm on Twitter. I refuse to call it X, but I'm on Twitter. I have a decent following on Twitter, but I don't promote the show that much because it's not why I do it, right? One, I just like to talk. Two, I love politics, so I like to talk about politics. And if I could just reach one person, or if one person gets something out of what I say, I'm happy with that. Like, I'm not doing this for a lot of for any popularity. Let's say that. But I am here today and let's get started. Before we do get started, I want to hold 1 second, everyone. I do want to make a comment because it is interesting that Owen Benjamin is still talking about me for some reason. I don't know. I mean, maybe he likes the gals with the big nostrils because he said I had big nostrils. If you don't know who Owen Benjamin is, you don't need to know. It's like don't even look him up. Just listen to what I'm gonna tell you. If you look him up, you're just gonna be like, ew. So don't bother to look him up. He's some white supremacist who, I don't know, comedian. I don't know. However, he tells a lot of, I don't know if they're jokes or he's just using racial tropes under the guise of like it's humor. Whatever the case is, he tells racist jokes. He tells bigoted jokes. He thinks it's funny. Like he just thinks racism and bigotry is funny. So that's who that guy is. He made a joke about, Black women should sell their babies to him so he can put them to work on his property. He failed to mention anything about the white babies. Well, whatever the case is, apparently he got triggered by me talking about his corny ass joke and decided to put me out there front and center, make jokes about the way I look. I don't know. Have you seen Owen Benjamin? Maybe you haven't. It's not worth even looking at him. But yeah, that's what he did. So I thought it was over, right? Because I didn't make jokes about the way this man looks. I don't care. I made jokes about what I care about. And it's racism, right? And racist jokes. And that's what I'm going to do. If I find something racist, I'm going to talk about it, right? But apparently Owen Benjamin doesn't like to be called out on his racism. So he felt triggered. So he had to, talk about my nostrils and all the other stuff and call me Shaniqua or whatever racist thing that he called me. Owen Benjamin highlights his back because he loves Owen Benjamin. So that's what he did. And then it was over. And then here I am again on his show. So I don't get it, but I just wanted to say, I don't know. And I keep making the jokes. They're funny to someone. I mean, apparently, because you keep saying it. So have at it, dude. Stop talking about me. I don't know. I'm starting to think that you're crushing us or something, because who keeps a joke going this long? Anyway, so let's get into some actual news. Hey, everybody, unemployment is down. So everyone is saying, oh my goodness, the inflation, the economy, everything is awful. It's actually not that bad, and it's actually getting better. But no one wants to give the credit to the administration. I mean, I get it, but it almost seems like people look at their personal pockets or their personal income and not necessarily what they're doing to get themselves where they are, but they're not looking at the totality, the economy as a whole, because today stock markets are rallying, right? The economy is doing pretty good. I mean, am I still broke? Of course. Do I still have to work? Of course I do. But hey, people who have stocks are doing well. Stock markets are great. Unemployment is down to a record low. It's at 3.7%. Wages are actually up. Everyone keeps saying, I don't feel it. I don't know what you're talking about. Wages are not up. I think wages are up because why y'all spending so much? Everybody I know is going on vacation. They're going on cruises. They out here doing stuff. They're shopping like crazy. So if the economy is so awful, no one's being stagnant. So where's the disconnect here? It can't be that bad, because it's not. Is there work to do? Absolutely. I'm not living in some freaking bubble and I don't see the cost of certain things is still expensive, but you actually can't blame the government for the cost of groceries. You need to go and look at the companies who are gouging you, because because the stocks are rallying and they're doing well. The companies can also bring the price of food down at this point, and they're not doing it. Slowly, certain things, certain things are going down. They really are, because some of the snacks that I've noticed that I buy for my kids, the price has been going down. Last year, those prices were astronomical for snacks, but now you can get sales on them. They are going down. So that is actually some good news. Gas isn't that expensive because people are traveling, right? People have been driving for the holidays over Thanksgiving. People weren't really complaining this past Thanksgiving like last year. People were really complaining about it. So we are headed in the right direction. I think they are going to start bringing down those percentage rates too once they feel that the economy is even stronger. So maybe that will impact housing and people will be able to afford to get mortgages and can start tackling housing and the rent issue. So that is good news. Hey, Brian, what's going on? Did that hit it off? It sure did. Hey, everyone. Welcome, Brian Rundle, my co-host on the Black and White Show. We always start off with the economy. I normally don't start off with the economy, but it's as I was going on, they were talking about how the market is rallying. And I think more of us actually need to start reminding people that the market is rallying. And it's interesting because I was listening to MSNBC, and I forgot who the analyst that was on there, and he was talking about the economy, and they were asking him, like, what is the disconnect? Why are people still saying inflation, recession? Like, why are people saying this? Even Democrats are saying this. And he made a good point. He's like, that's not what it is. It's Biden's age. They don't want to seem ageist. They don't want to seem like they are feeling a little funny about his age. So they go into the economy thing instead of complaining about Biden's age, which kind of makes sense as well. But, I am hopeful that when we all go to the polls next November, that we will get it together, that we're all going to be on the same page and we're going to get it together, because the shit I'm about to talk about is some serious stuff, and we need to get it together, or we're gonna be in real trouble. So let's move on. Kudos to Mark Elias. So while Republicans are putting on a shit show for the audience of one, the orange guy that seems to be running the House of Representatives, Mark Elias has been out here working. And I don't think that we talk about Mark Elias enough. Mark Elias is like, I don't want to call him the new Stacey Abrams, but we know how hard Stacey Abrams works. Like, we know how hard we know how hard she worked to get Warnock and Ossoff, because I don't know why I forgot his name, but how hard she worked to get them elected. Mark Elias is putting the work in state by state by state. He is challenging these maps. We just got a win. It was either yesterday or 2 days ago. The highest New York court ordered that maps be withdrawn by the independent redistricting committee. So New York's maps are about to be withdrawn. So redrawn. So that is a good thing, because just think, New York is what gave us the problem. We lost the House probably because of New York, because of the way those maps were drawn. And you could just say, if you don't really understand, well, what's the matter with the way the maps are drawn? Like, no, the maps are drawn illegally, and that's been a Republican trick. So, of course, Democrats and Republicans gerrymander. Like, that's just been the thing. But Democrats had used this to give minorities a voice, because what Republicans do is they put all the Black people in one district so that we don't have any congressional seats, and like we're not being represented. And that's what Louisiana is doing right now. That's what North Carolina is doing. That is what Ohio is doing, Georgia. So Mark Elias got a win out of New York, and he believes that this is going to pick us up between 4 and 6 congressional districts. So that is a good thing. So thank you, Mark Elias. Is that an example of an OMB joke? Which one? Oh, I don't know. Oh, you're talking to Owen Benjamin highlights. You guys talk. So anyway, yeah, that's what happened. Kudos to Mark Elias. He does not get enough credit. I wish that he did. What else happened this week? I don't even have to ask that, because there's so much that has been happening this week. Oh God, I don't even. So this isn't confusing, but Republicans make it confusing. So apparently they're out here trying to impeach Hunter Biden. Oh, no, Not Hunter? Oh, wait. It's Hunter's dad they're trying to impeach? So what's going on with Hunter? Oh, they want to talk to Hunter. Public? Oh no, not public. In private. Oh, they want to talk to Hunter in private. So why is Biden being impeached then? Like, so which I don't. Can somebody help me? Hey, excuse me, Comer, can you help me? Can anyone help me and clarify what the hell is going on? Because nobody knows what the hell is going on. So apparently, Hunter was supposed to have a deposition this week. I get my days confused, so it could have been yesterday or the day before. I don't know. Days go together. He appeared for the deposition, but he's been saying and announcing, hey, I want to do this in public because I want to be transparent. Comer, or Comer Pyle, as people call him, said, no, there's a way. Hey, Michelle, there's a way that we do this. We do this in private, blah, 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 right? So he's like, hey, I'm here if y'all want me, but we're not doing this in private because what you're not going to do is twist my words. And not only did he do that, Hunter got on the offensive. So good for him. He had a whole presser in the morning and he was like, hey, yes, I had a drug problem. Yes, I had privileges that I blew. Yes, I was on drugs. I did this. I did that. I had money issues. But that has nothing to do with my father, right? Because it doesn't. Because you see how Republicans just throw the shit on the wall and whatever sticks. Yeah, that's it. That's what we wanted. Like, it's so ridiculous because it's like yesterday, and this is on purpose. It's all on purpose and all on design to take you away from one Kay Cox, right? That we're going to talk about because they don't want you to know. Don't think about that. Trump's 91 counts. They don't want you to think about that either. So we're going to put you here. Focus here. And the economy, that's doing great, right? They want to take the steam out. They have fucking nothing. They've done fucking nothing. It's been the least working Congress since 1947. The most unproductive since 1947. How is that even a thing? So because they need to hide that, here we come conflating is the Hunter Biden, he's not here. And we need to talk to Hunter Biden because we think that there's a there enough that we can get his father. So Joe Biden was not named in Hunter Biden's indictment. So what's the connection? They keep saying there's a connection, and that's why they need to do an impeachment inquiry. And if you watched any news other than Fox and Newsmax, you would see that every time a reporter actually asked a Republican, what is the high crime and misdemeanor? What's the crime? The crime is the high crime. But what is the crime? It's the crime. That's what we're trying to find out. Yeah, but if you're doing an impeachment inquiry, that means that you believe a crime has been committed. What is the crime you think is committed? They can't answer that question. That's one of the many issues with this, right? When you can't, that is the two-tier justice system when you're like trying to hang somebody for a crime that you think that they could have maybe had at some point in their lives committed. So and let's back up. Let's go back to the dates. Say there was some indiscretions. Let's just say it, right? They don't have proof of it. Let's say that there was? What are the years that they're saying that there was? Because in order to impeach a president, he would have had to commit the crimes as a president. Right? Right? Am I wrong? Can somebody explain this to me? He's president now. He was the president in 2018, 2017. Some of these dates, he was a private citizen. Witnesses? Over 80 witnesses. They released one transcript, Republicans. Why? Because the witnesses all said the same thing. There is nothing. Yes, Hunter Biden would call his dad when we were having meetings, but we could tell that he was just showing off. Like that. That's what Republican witnesses said. That's why you don't have the transcripts, because it's not helpful. Then they have one witness that committed espionage and he's on the run and we haven't heard from him. Hide no hair, just somewhere gone, running and on the lam. Like, you cannot make this up. But they needed to do this. They needed to do this because they've been talking about it for damn near 6 years. And if Biden committed a crime and they thought that he committed a crime, why did the Trump DOJ do something about it? Trump was a whole president, right? Well, Bill Barr. How come Bill Barr didn't do something about it? Think. But MAGAs, you can't even. This is good information, right? One, he wasn't even president. So what are we talking about? Because in order to impeach him, he would have had to commit crimes as president, right? That didn't happen. But not to MAGA. Still there's a problem. Okay. What about Trump? Trump was there. Trump didn't touch it. Why? Because there's nothing. They just want to say, look, Biden was impeached too. Now you have 2 old guys and 2 guys who was impeached and 2 people who committed crimes. See, they're the same. That's what they want. They're not the same. One is a disgusting, despicable, vile racist who keeps telling you he wants to be a dictator. Keeps telling you he's one of you while he's open your pocket, pay for this. He's selling you right now pieces of his suit when he was doggone for his mugshot, and y'all fools are buying it. He's selling pieces of his suit. Y'all are friggin' crazy right now, and you think he's one of you? Joe Biden ain't out here with a gold toilet and a private jet, but y'all like, he wanted me. Why? Because he talks stupid? Like, that's the connection y'all have? He talks stupid. He's one of you. Trump don't even want to shake your goddamn hands because he says y'all are gross. He don't want to shake your hand. He got a private jet. He ain't trying to rub shoulders with y'all. Trump went into that whole restaurant. Remember, he went into a restaurant. Burgers on me. Walked out, was like, we're not picking up that tab. Didn't pay for it. Y'all crazy. But he's charging you $99 for his ugly ass digital cards, and y'all just opening up your wallets, but then you're complaining about the economy. The economy, I have no money. Oh my God. How much does Trump need? Wait, let me give him my last check. Y'all are out of your goddamn minds. Like, for real. It's so crazy. Y'all are crazy. Right. And that's another thing. It's like, you have Hunter Biden's bank records. There's nothing. You have Biden's bank records, right? Because in order to run for president, you got all of his tax records. You got them all. Trump is the one who wouldn't release his tax records. Biden releases tax records. They cannot find any money because they keep saying every time they do a press conference, they go, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars going to the Biden crime family. They can't find one check. Just no. Oh yeah, the 3 checks for $1,500 where the son paid back the dad. Like, just tell me something. At what point do we even hear about people who don't pay their taxes and have gun charges? Like, why do we hear about this? Why do we know about why do we know about this? If anything, people should be very sad. This is just sad. This whole story is sad. Like, aha, the hunter is paying for hookers. Oh, like, it's better than paying off hookers. Like, how are Republicans are so stupid that they can't even see, like you said, Brian, the irony. There are he's paying off he's buying hookers when Trump is paying them off. He had one when his wife was pregnant. Donald Trump. But they don't see any problem with that. But that Hunter Biden. Excuse me. Hunter Biden was on drugs. What's Trump's excuse? Right? How many people out here have someone in their family that's on drugs? I do. I have an uncle. I don't even know where he is. He can't even come to anyone's house. He lives on the street. It's awful. It's awful. It's hard to get them help. And it's hard for them to be lucid enough to know when they need help. It's just a situation that if it's going to get better, it's going to get way worse before it even gets better. So the fact that Joe Biden, Jill, the family was able to love up on Hunter and get Hunter to a place where he is now is fucking amazing. Because when you get that low, it's hard to bring these people back. They have to have a will to do it. And it sucks right now because Republicans would love for Hunter Biden to relapse. They would love that. Hunter said it. They just want me to die. And it's true because they would love that too. They would love anything to get them to where they want to be. And that is to have Donald Trump as president. They are chomping at the bits right now for a Donald Trump presidency. Every time they go to Mar-a-Lago, what are they doing? What are they doing? They're planning. They're planning who's going to be in the administration. They're planning it out. They're ready this time. I'm sorry, guys. It's cold, it's dry heat's coming up. But they're getting ready. So we need to get ready. They feel there is no moderate Republicans. Them voting for this impeachment inquiry has told us this. The moderates have left the building. They've left the building. They've retired. They can't do this anymore. The ones that are left, they're all vying for position in the White House. Who's going to get an office in the West Wing? What position are you going to get? You got Kash Patel thinking he's going to be the head of the CIA. They're ready. They're making a plan. They're waiting for us to get tired. They're waiting for us to slip up. These maps, they are going to cheat. So let's move on. Yeah, I'm going to keep talking about that because this is real. Like, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. He has announced what they want to do. Let's talk about, Brett Hankinson. Remember Brett? Brett is the one of the police officers that had a couple of civil rights charges in the Breonna Taylor case. He had a mistrial and he's going to be retried very shortly. Just wanted to put that in there because that did happen. So let's talk about Kate Cox for a quick second. We talked about Kate Cox last week. Kate Cox is the woman. She was about 20 weeks pregnant when she found out that her fetus had a fetal anomaly. It had all kinds of issues: twisted spine, irregular heart, irregular skull. Just there was little chance of survival outside of the womb, and if it did survive, they were saying that it wouldn't survive more than 1 week to a month. If she even got that far, she may deliver a stillborn. So, Kay Cox wanted to have a child. She has a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. She was excited. This wasn't going to happen for her. So she wanted to have an abortion for a few reasons that I can think off the top, right? I'm not Kate Cox, but as a woman, there are a few reasons if I had that situation why I would want an abortion. One is that your body is going to get sick because you have a very sick fetus um, inside of it, and it's pulling from you. And she was sick. She was in and out of the emergency room. And the further along that she got in the pregnancy, the sicker she was becoming. That's one reason why I would want an abortion. Um, the second reason is to carry to full term uh, something that you know is not going to live, the mental anguish with that. It's not like she could, when you're expecting, you're reading your tummy, you're reading stories, you're happy every kick, when you're at that point of getting kicks, like you're excited. There's no excitement with this. You're literally just gonna give birth to bury a baby. So who wants that heart-wrenching situation? So she went to the courts. The first court actually emergency. It was an emergency hearing, and it was granted. There was a stay on the law so that she can get an abortion. However, Ken Paxton, the attorney general of the state, was pissed off about that. Yeah, Ken Paxton. He's the one that's indicted and who will be going to trial himself for some crimes. Yeah, that guy that's not a medical doctor or her doctor said, no, you don't qualify. And if any of the doctors perform this, then there's going to be hell to pay. Yeah. Yep. Yep, that's the white males, the white male Republicans. The way to love families, right? Way to love them babies, way to love them mothers. Yeah, yeah. No, you will carry this, right? That's Kim Paxton. So then it goes to appeal. Meanwhile, she's like, you know what? I'm taking my uterus in my own hands and I'm leaving Texas, which she didn't want to do. And here's the thing about Texas. Texas has the bounty hunter law, right? So whoever helps Kate, including her husband, or if it were her doctors, if it was an uncle, it was a mama, auntie, cousin, Uber driver, Lyft driver, whoever helped Kate along the way could be prosecuted with a $10,000 reward. That's the state of Texas. So if you help a woman get medical care, you can be prosecuted. You know what her husband probably said? I don't give a damn. You're getting the help you need. I'll bite that bullet for my wife because this is what fucking families do. And I would have done the same thing for my child. I would go to jail, prosecute me. Because what you're not going to do, Ken Paxton, is make my child, my wife, my family member suffered through something so awful. Just the nerve of these people, the nerve. So let's back it back up because Donald J. Trump is giddy and happy that he got rid of Roe. He delivered that shit for the evangelicals, didn't he? Didn't he, all? Isn't that what they wanted? No one thought that this was going to happen. So now what they're trying to do is backtrack the language. They're not backtracking the policy. What they're trying to do is go, oh, not a total ban. 15 weeks, we'll give you that. Don't fall for the okie doke. Because that's all it is. It is talk. 15 weeks is not good enough. There should be 0 bans. Because a lot of these anomalies, you don't find out until your 20th week or your 22nd week when they're doing certain tests. Because if you knew anything, right, about babies and being pregnant, gynecological shit, obstetrics shit, you would know that when it's an embryo, it's an embryo. It's just a clump of cells. Nobody knows nothing. You just don't know nothing. There's barely a heartbeat. There may not be a heartbeat until maybe 8 weeks or something like that. There ain't no ears. There ain't no eyes. There's no limbs. There's no extremities. There's no sex. There's none of that. It's a clump of fucking cells that everyone is fighting about. And you don't get those special tests for Down syndrome and all these other things that could be happening until around 20 weeks. So your goddamn 15 weeks, y'all could just shove that up your butt because that doesn't help anyone, nor do your exceptions. Because there are exceptions in Texas. And the courts deemed that she still didn't qualify. Her life was not in danger enough, according to the courts, not her doctors, the court. She's not in danger enough, not until she's fucking bleeding out outside the emergency room door. And then what do they do then? How much blood is that? I don't think that's not enough. That's not enough. Send her home. Well, what is wrong? Exceptions don't work. There are no exceptions. There's not exceptions for life of mother. There's no exception for rape because that's fucking ridiculous. Who puts a timetable on when you can tell somebody when you're raped? It's all about harming women. It's so callous and disgusting. If a 10-year-old is raped, you think she's running back home and saying, hey, everybody, guess what happened? Adults don't do that. So if you're putting, what is DeSantis wanted, 6 weeks? But, make sure if you're raped, you got to hurry up and go to the local police station. And no one's doing that. You have to process that. You're like mourning a loss of something that you don't even know what you just lost. It's atrocious. And if you guys don't get it together and get your family together and tell them how serious this is, it's going to get a lot worse. And you see how these school shootings, these mass shootings, like at some point, people in like Texas and Tennessee and those places where they can walk around with assault rifles, there are so many mass shootings that you can't even live in that state and not know someone who has been impacted by that. So imagine Donald Trump as president. You don't think there's going to be a national ban just because Republicans said it won't be? We're going to believe that? They said insurrection was a picnic. How are we believing that? It's going to be a national ban. You will know someone impacted. It may be your little sister. It may be your daughter. You're trying to go fund me, trying to get money to get your kid and then the cost is going to be skyrocketed because once it's banned nationally, you're only going to be able to find it in pockets. It's going to be like this underground railroad where you're going to have to go and go out of the goddamn country or to Canada, and then you're going to be charged so much money. It's going to impact you. It's going to impact your family negatively. There are going to be so many children with children. I remember being young, and I know I need to move on. And there was a point where all of the girls were getting pregnant before we even graduated. I was like, what the heck? It was just the strangest thing. They're just girls are pregnant. I was like, wow, how is this happening? I was so confused. But then there was a switch. Like I'm young, so I don't understand what was happening with the laws. But at some point in school, they were doing like sex education. And then the nurse's office started giving out birth control and condoms. And then guess what? I wasn't seeing the pregnant girls. I wasn't seeing it. There's something to that. If you don't want your kid to go to the nurse's office to get condoms, then don't let your kid go to the nurse's office and get condoms. But you guess what? If your kid is going to the nurse's office to get condoms, that says something. Let your kid get some condoms. If your kid is going to get birth control, then you need to have a conversation. And the conversation is not always like, don't do that. Because they do what you tell them not to do. Oh my God, this fucking world is so crazy. Yeah, Johnny, it's a thorny issue, but it shouldn't be a thorny issue because it's a woman's issue. So I don't even know what like, it's not even thorny to me. It's not thorny. What's the thorn? What is the thorn? If you take religion out of it, what do we have then? What are we complaining about? Will we be complaining about abortion if you take religion out? Because why is religion in it? Everyone in America is not religious. Everyone in America is not a Christian. Everyone in America is not a Muslim. Everyone in America is not Jewish. Everyone in America is not atheist. So why does one religion get to tell everybody how they should be acting? That is crazy. And it's the same people that run around and go, I'm not putting that vaccination in my body because you can't tell me what to do. Like that, y'all don't see the irony of that? It's not thorny. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so easy. It's not a hard situation. Y'all make it hard. And the very ones that are out there saying it's because of their religion are the ones that aren't religious. You're the ones that aren't going to church on Sundays. The ones that are saying, "Oh no, it's my religion. You're killing babies." You're the ones that aren't going to church on Sundays. You're the ones. Because there's nowhere in the world you're going to church on Sundays and you out here trying to kill doctors and shoot up Planned Parenthood. How does that make sense? I'm going to shoot up a Planned Parenthood. Y'all crazy. Let's move on to Rudy Giuliani. Because I could go on this forever because obviously women have a lot to say about this. I have a lot to say about this because I get personally offended. Like I'm not having any more children, but personally offended that somebody would have the audacity to tell me you can't have medical care. That is insanity. And then you got fucking assholes about don't have sex. Like what? Sex is only for what? Procreate like babies? People don't have sex for pleasure? What is wrong with y'all? Mistakes happen. No one is perfect. Even these fake Christians that want you to think that they're actually Christians. Rubio, Ted Cruz, MAGA Mike. Stop playing right now. That man is not a Christian running around here praying on the Capitol floor. Who does that? You're not a Christian and a man who is found to have raped somebody, who says that he grabs people by their pussy, who bragged about walking in on teen girls. That's the guy you support, but you're Christian. Stop playing right now. Stop it. That's offensive to the real Christians. All right, let's talk about did I say Rudy? Oh no, let's say Rudy for last. Real quick, Jack Smith. Let me read the comments. Right. When is America going to talk about sniffing men? If women can't have control over their bodies, then men shouldn't either. Absolutely. Yeah, choose to leave in God's hands. These men obviously know nothing about a woman's body, and here they are making decisions. It's ghastly. It's a thorny issue. If the parents tell the school it's okay, that's one thing, but I don't know about going behind their backs. No, kids shouldn't, but I think at a certain age that they're able to, and I think it's like 16 or so that they're doing it. And it's not the school, it's the nurse's office, and the nurse has to offer these things. Like you gotta, I don't know, we gotta. People can parent the way they want to parent. I just am happy that this was a thing for my children, right? Uh, they've been pretty much open with me. I'm pretty sure they don't tell me everything, but they tell each other things and very open when they were ready to get on birth control. And to be honest with you, my first year of college, right before my mom took me, I didn't even go to my mother. I didn't even ask her for nothing because I had already been doing what I was doing, right? She was like, what we're not going to do is get pregnant in college. She took me to the doctor's office. Was like, nope, you're getting on birth control. There's no there's no discussion here. This is what's gonna happen. So I don't know. We just gotta be smart. Kids are gonna do what kids are gonna do. So we really have to head them off before they do it. Like, let's not act like all of our kids are just like, oh no, my kids they gotta be educated. You know, you got people out here don't even want them to learn about it. Like, you know, it's on one hand we want teachers to teach this, but then it's like, no, I'll teach them at home. But then we don't teach them at home. Like, so where are they learning? Or TikTok? You want TikTok to teach your kids? Because TikTok's like teaching our kids every kind of thing. Let's see. But it's not a religious thing because people making these decisions are not Christians. Exactly. Want control. All right. So Jack Smith has well, he made a move this week. He asked the Supreme Court to hear Trump's argument that he has presidential immunity. Why people are talking about this? People are talking about this because Jack Smith has actually skipped over the appellate court and went straight to the Supreme Court because in Jack Smith's eyes, in all of our eyes, Donald Trump wants to delay his trial as long as possible. So if his motion sits with the appellate courts forever and ever and ever and a day, he's good with that. So Jack Smith is like, no, we want that March date to stand. So I'm going to just go on and ask the Supreme Court to expedite this. So Donald Trump's motion on Jack Smith's ask is due on the 20th, and then we will learn if the Supreme Court is actually going to hear this. They may hear it. Meanwhile, the trial is on pause for right now, which makes sense because they have to figure out the answer to, what Trump is saying, that he has presidential immunity, which is interesting, right? Because he thinks he has presidential immunity. Why is he trying to delay, right? If you have presidential immunity, then you would say, hurry up, make this decision. I have presidential immunity, because once they say, you know what, Trump, you can commit all the crimes you want when you're president. So everything that you did, all these cases are gone, right? So if he has presidential immunity, wouldn't you want them to hear this right now, immediately, right away, so that while you're campaigning, your cases are gone? Why doesn't he want that? MAGA. Y'all tell me, because y'all got all the answers. And you can't answer the things that make sense, right? Because that makes sense. If you have presidential immunity because you said you did, and you're confident in it, then you want this right away. Like, you want this heard right away so you don't have to worry about this anymore. But he doesn't. He doesn't have immunity. So I'm not even worried about what they're going to decide, because you can't be the president. What, are you going to be the president out here buying cocaine, selling drugs, just shooting people? Like, you don't have immunity from criminal things. You can't just commit crimes as president and be like, well, I'm the president. Like, you can't, hey, what you want to do? All criminals should be running for president then. If that's the case, he just crazy. And then what's the other thing? It's the presidential immunity. And then he's also saying that, double jeopardy. He's saying, like, why am I being charged again for something that I was already impeached in the Senate for? Not the Senate, in the House for, at J6, right? The J6 stuff. So he's saying, listen, I already got in trouble for this. Why are you pulling up these charges again? That's double jeopardy. No, it's not. These are separate entities. That is Congress, right? So whatever happened in Congress, you're impeached, you were found guilty or whatever, that's separate. That doesn't just automatically go right into, the court system. Because if that's the case, like, that's an easy slam dunk. You should be in jail. Like, that's not how that, no, it doesn't work like that. Separate. No, you're being tried here, the federal government, in the courts. The actual courts, not Congress, the courts. So yeah, he's trying to delay as much as possible. Jack Smith is trying to fight those delays, because that is the case. That is the trial, that March one, that we really do want to see go on and happen. And America deserves it, right? Like, I don't even understand, like, why wouldn't you want to know the results of these trials before you go in there and vote for him? But then again, maybe it doesn't matter, because, like, MAGAs will vote for him regardless. It doesn't matter what he does. Like, they don't care if this man found guilty, because they'll find a way to say it's a two-tier justice system. Those are Democratic jurors. Like, it's just, everything is against them. Like, they are the absolute, Trump has had no privilege in his life. You hear me? He just from the bottom. He's from the bricks. Donald Trump, that man. He's always in trouble. Donald Trump, that man. Like, stop playing. All right, Rudy Giuliani. Next up, Rudy Giuliani's defamation trial. If I missed something today, please drop it in the chat, because I know they were deliberating. I don't think that they came out with a monetary figure yet. Let me know if they did, but I didn't hear that they did or not. Rudy Giuliani, if you remember, he came out here and he went on this stupid show, and they needed some scapegoats about what was going on in Fulton County. So he decided to say that Lady Ruby and her daughter were passing USB ports around like there were vials of heroin. I mean, why do you think he said drugs? Wait, what do you think he said that? It's like these people are just so racist. Like they're so flipping racist. It's not even funny. It's like, oh, black woman drugs. Like it's just to rile the people up. Like you'd be like, oh shoot, that's right. That's right. Like that is so insane. So because oh yeah, and it was a ginger mint. So I looked over the video and all of that, and they were passing a ginger mint to one another, not a USB port, and not vials of heroin either, which is funny coming from Rudy because he literally looks like he's on some type of drug. He's absolutely an alcoholic, but he looks like he's doing something else as well. So he should really talk about somebody passing vials of heroin around. Like, stop it right now. But anyway, he said it. Donald Trump said some things about them too. I can't remember all of the racist things that he said. He had mentioned their names like over a dozen times. And this is the president of the United States at the time saying and calling out these women, accusing them of doing something wrong. And they knew what they were doing. So after that happens, now you have people looking up who these women are, going to their houses, looking for them, pushing their grandmother around, talking about, I'm going to do a citizen's arrest. Your daughter is a traitor. You know what happens to traitors. They were getting phone calls off the hook. They were getting so many phone calls that when they went to the police station, their phones were still ringing, and the police started answering their phones. They were being called the N-word. They were being called bitch traitor. They were being called, their lives were being threatened. I mean, just put yourself in their shoes. Like, really, what money can bring back normalcy to you after that? What amount of money? What money? What they experienced at that time? Can you imagine someone coming to your house, people outside of your house in Georgia, in the South, where there are lynchings and the good old boys in the Klan? And they're coming to your house and they're calling you, whispering, nigga, nigga. Like that? Shay Moss's mom lived through that. Her grandmother lived through that. Just think about that. I mean, I know it's hard to put yourself in someone, a black person's body. Just think about that. And then the history. And then all these vile, disgusting racists coming to your house, calling you a traitor, saying they're going to deal with you and they're going to take out the trash and put the trash in and cut you into pieces. Like, just imagine that. Meanwhile, Rudy and Trump just go about their day, eating Trump steaks. Rudy's just drinking. These women are being terrorized. Can't use their name in public. Shay Moss going to the hair salon saying do something different, trying to put on different makeup, changing the color of her hair so nobody knows who she is. Her son failed his finals because he's afraid. You can't put any. What's the dollar amount on that? I hope they hit him. They want they're seeking between 15.5 and $43 million. I hope they get the $43 million because Rudy Giuliani is awful. And not only, and during the trial, he's still would say he did nothing. Anyone with a shred, not an ounce of decency, anyone with a shred of decency would have called up these women and apologized. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't know it would go this far. But you know what? Fucking care about anyone's lives. They don't care. They didn't care if these women died. They don't care. Like, really don't care. And these are the people that we want in office, the people that don't care. Do you think Ashley Bobbitt's mom that Donald Trump cared about your daughter? She died on January 6th when he told her to go into the Capitol. He don't care about your daughter. He's using her. She helps with the base. He does not care. Diamond and Silk. He's like, which one of y'all died? I didn't know her very well. They had that man talk at a funeral because they thought he liked them. And then he gets up there and you did a eulogy or whatever he gave and said, I know her very well. Like, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is wrong with y'all? Live, die. They don't care as long as they're in power. I mean, COVID. He hit it. He hit the impact of it. It's like, yeah, you got to tell the people. No, I don't want the panic. Right? Millions and millions and millions of people died. Just dead. Just people just dead. People you know, and you still voting for this man. I don't, yeah, I don't get it. So hopefully, Rudy Giuliani has to, beg for some more money. And it's so interesting because he has to continue to deny that he did anything. He has to continue to act like he doesn't. Like he has to act a certain way because he has to still beg for money from the Republican base, right? Like, so I guess if he did apologize, which I don't think that he would ever apologize anyway, but he couldn't, because the minute he says, I shouldn't have done it, or I was wrong, or admits to doing something wrong, he can't get no more money. And he's being sued by his attorneys because he's not paying his attorneys because he ain't got no money. So, people are so crazy. It's so crazy out here. Anyway, everyone, I hope they get 47 mil too. Is it up to 47 mil? I know. I hope they go, hey, you know what? This isn't enough. 50. You got to pay them $50 million. Like, and it's so funny. I love the way people are like, oh, why can't they just move? What do you mean? And they had to move eventually because I think the FBI told them to move. But like, how do you just back up and move? Move where? My family's here. How do you just move and leave my family? What are you talking about? Ugh, I tell you. Anyway, Michelle, everyone, any truth to the fact that Trump's popularity with Black voters has gone up since being arrested? That's a good question. I don't think it has anything about being arrested. I think that is what Trump is saying. I don't think his popularity is going up. Has there always been a very small segment of Black people who connect with Trump? Of course. I mean, that is what it is, but I don't think it's enough that would ever move a needle. I still think he's at like 8% or 9%. Whatever Black people liked him before he got a mugshot and got arrested, that's that racist trope that the Republicans were out here saying, like, because that's it's a very racist thing. It's like, oh, we're connected with him because yeah, he's down by law because he got arrested like that. That's kind of crazy. If black people are supporting him, they've been supporting him. Um, you got the Kanye West, you got people who I don't know why, Candace Owens, I guess they tap into the white supremacy, right? He seems like he has the power, and a lot of people like power. They feel like he says what he wants to say. There's a lot of people in the black community that have a gripe with immigrants, right? They believe all of the bad things. They believe, oh, they're taking our jobs, whereas they're not taking anyone's jobs because unemployment is down and there's jobs for everybody. And there's some of these states that actually need workers like Arkansas so they can stop putting little babies to work in factories while they're out here losing their limbs. So I believe Arkansas can use some immigrants because they sure putting little kids to work. So yeah, I don't think he's more popular among black people because that's just it's not. We haven't forgotten, right? We haven't forgotten Trump putting out an ad to have Central Park 5 executed, and then doubled down even when they were found and exonerated. When they were exonerated, he still doubled down. Black people have not forgotten that he called black countries shithole countries. We have not forgotten that he calls black women bitches. Haven't forgotten that he called black men sons of bitches, right? Very upset about Kaepernick. Kaepernick was, taking a knee. Oh, he hated that. George Floyd protest. Oh, he hated that. Like, black people, we're not dumb. We have not forgotten all of the racist things. Trump being sued for housing discrimination. Trump saying the N word. Like, we have not, Trump saying, go back to your country. We haven't forgotten any of that. And he will pay for that because he will not get our vote. He's just not. So I hope that answered that question. Anyway, everyone, thank you. Thank you. You know what? I didn't know people would be in the chat. So I'm going to have to get the game back. There is a game, quotes and questions, where I read a quote and you guys guess who said it. So maybe we'll go back to that. Probably not next week because next week is close to Christmas. So I will see you guys the following week. I will talk to you later. Thank you, Michelle, Willow, Johnny Clips, Owen Benjamin highlights, Brian, whoever else. If I don't talk to anyone, have a great, safe holiday. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you. Good night.